FPL Physio here with another injury report and some replacement ideas for you. So let's jump right into it and let's take a look at the first injury here. So Szoboszlai unfortunately had to come off with an ankle injury. Um, it did happen around the 68th minute mark, but he was able to continue to play for another 15 to 20 minutes. So it's a bit interesting, this one, because we saw the exact same thing with Ismail Assar a few weeks ago. Ismail Assar twisted his ankle, continued to play for about the same amount of minutes, about 15 to 20 minutes, before he had to come off. So I kind of expect the same happen with the Szoboszlai, uh, where he twists his ankle, he tries to play through the pain, but then eventually the swelling and the pain will get so bad that he can't continue. So of course we'll need to look into the press conferences and see what Slot says, but right now I would say it's a 50-50, but surely it doesn't look good just because it got subbed off. We have seen many ankle twists where they were able to continue through both the pain and the swelling. So it might be an indication that the swelling got too bad and he simply couldn't play on. So, but for now, I would say that Szoboszlai is of course a keep until we know more. Next one here is Dan Burn. Dan Burn got into a terrible accident, a terrible tackle incident where the opponent knee hit Dan Burn's chest. So what we know now is that Dan Burn has broken his rib and has damaged his lung. So Dan Burn will be out for about 4, 6, 8 weeks. It all depends. I did write this analysis, as you can see here on the screen, where I expected Dan Burn to have a broken rib and be out for 4 to 6 weeks. That's now confirmed, and I would say it also concludes that Dan Burn is a sell. Third injury we got in this game week is Dewsbury Hall. He had to come off the pitch after only 15 minutes with an apparent hamstring injury. He did have some tightness going into the game. We know that because Morris said that he had a bit of tightness already, and then he felt it during the game. So Moyes is saying that he felt it during the game, which could refer to the tightness or to the actual some sort of hamstring injury. I think we can expect that if it's only tightness, there's like a slim chance he'll make it to next game week. But I would doubt it because now they've got 2 warnings. He had the tightness before going into the game and also did feel it during the game, which 2 warnings of a hamstring injury, which is almost the most popular injury amongst footballers. I think they might be cautious. There's also a slight chance that it's a grade 1 strain. And then of course he's out of game week 17 and maybe game week 18 as well. I might think that the Arsenal game is too soon for Dewsbury Hall. With 2 warnings, had to go off after only 15 minutes of play. Do you want to risk it in a match where you have a really tiny chance of getting points? Tough opponent. So my prediction right now is that Dewsbury Hall is out. But I would say that he's a keep / still for now, more like a keep. I think we need to know more from the press conferences. Let's dive into it. So the best possible replacements, and it's quite crazy because as you can see here, all the players that I've put an arrow beside are either out to AFCON or injured. So amongst the best predicted midfielders the next coming 7 game weeks, there's already 3 of them might be out. Szoboszlai is predicted second. That might change now because Joe Gomez is also out. And Szoboszlai might play right back. But Szoboszlai is out. Ismail Sarr to AFCON and Doku from City also out with the leg injury. I haven't included him in this analysis because I don't know what he refers to as leg injury. There's many leg injuries in football. If we go further down the list, we can also see Gakpo, Grealish, and Dewsbury Hall all out. Grealish is a bit of a doubt. He just felt some tightness at the end. This is the prediction model I use to make my decisions. I'll link it in the description. I did agree to partner up with them, which is great because I use them all the time. Anyway, let's go into the replacement. So I've tried to come up with some replacements for Dewsbury Hall and Szoboszlai. So in that medium valued range. So the first one here is Semenyo. He has really high expected minutes. He has an high, I wouldn't say, maybe I should have wrote medium to high expected goal involvements. It has dropped the last 2 games, and he has medium fixtures. He does play Burnley at home next game week, which is a brilliant matchup, and he's also predicted to be the best, almost the best captain choice, of course, besides Haaland. The next one we're looking at, I'm just gonna move myself here a bit, is Enzo Fernandez, and maybe some of you might think that that's a weird choice. His expected minutes is high, and we're going into this Christmas schedule, so you do want players that simply just play. His expected goal involvements is also insanely high. If you look at the last, just look at all season, he's I think he's top 5 at least. So his expected goal involvement is extremely high, and I know some of you would say, yeah, but Parma is back. Yeah, Parma is back, but Parma is not going to play full time. And whenever Parma gets subbed off, Enzo will play the attacking midfielder. So with high expected minutes, high expected goal involvement, medium to bad fixtures would be a downside. And the risky question mark is because it's not the best fixtures. There is Parma coming back, and how much would that influence Enzo? We don't know exactly yet. It hasn't influenced his underlying stats so far. They play Newcastle away in next game week, so I mean, not a perfect setup at all. Enzo would also have a decent chance of starting to get some defcons. That would be my last argument. The third option is Minter. High expected minutes. We're going into Christmas schedule again, and you want players that play. Medium expected goal involvements. Minter is doing okay on the underlying stats. He did really well last match. So he's definitely up there. He do have some good fixtures. I think they have Sunderland home, and then they have Arsenal, I think, or some top club at least. So Minter also a great choice, especially for this game week. He's a brilliant choice. Then we have this one. So Jeremy Pino is a mega differential, and he has pretty high expected minutes. expected goal involvements is something I want you to look into, because I know a lot of people haven't looked into him at all, but he's up there, and I'm gonna show you why in a second. Um, his fixtures the next 3 game weeks is really decent, but there is of course a rotation risk. Crystal Palace is playing uh, and has played a lot of midweek games, so we don't really know for sure if at some point Glasner, I mean, he must start to rotate. Um, but Jeremy Pino is someone that I look into quite a lot. He's also a mega differential. Um, Try to look into him. That's all I can say. Last one here, Cunha. High expected minutes, especially with Mbemo gone. He seems like a very good pick. Good fixtures, extremely good expected goal involvements. The last 2 matches, I think it's been above 1, which is insane. They do play Villa away, so I mean, not the perfect game week to get him in, but that shouldn't keep you away. Maybe Cunha and Semenyo is not among like the medium valued replacement, um, but if you can afford them, then they are pretty decent pick. Other mentions would be Anderson from Forest. Um, I mean, Declan Rice maybe, but his underlying stats has been dropping a bit, and yeah. That was it for my injury report and my some of my replacement ideas. I did say that I would look into Jeremy Pino more. That's in my next video. I forgot, I mixed them up. But please subscribe, like, comment. I'll try to answer everything. Thank you for watching. See you.